Well, good morning, friends and neighbors of the Hapeville channel. Dewey coming to you this morning. It is a quiet morning, a little warmer than yesterday. Today I am bringing you to the area of Lake Avenue and South Gordon Circle, where Coalfield Park is. That is my friend Chris and Chris. Two Chris's live in that house. Chris and Chris. So yeah, we are gonna walk through the park, and it's the first time that I've been here since the summer. And so there are some cool things. As I was pulling up to park here in front of the scout hut, right here, I noticed some cool changes that have been happening. So let's take a walk through the park and I'll show you. It's really exciting, actually, to see this now. You know, I've said this a million times. I've been here 4 years, and every time I've come to this park, the walkways have been just dirt and muddy. But not anymore. You know, you can see right here that they have improved it just very, very recently. Now I wanted to take a closer look. Oh yeah, it's asphalt. I was wondering if it was or not, because up in Jess Lucas Park, the path that we have there, they did with this shredded rubber stuff, which is really nice. And I thought that's what this is, but no, they did asphalt. But they did it all the way around. So I'm gonna go this way. Good morning, Charles. He said, I grew up at 615 North Gordon Circle. At some point, there was a fire and the siding has never been replaced. Really? That would be up there, right? Because I'm on South Gordon, so you would have lived up there and to the left where your grandma was. Who knows? Maybe I'll walk up there this morning. But look how lovely this is. Have you all noticed this yet? I don't know when they did it, because I haven't been here, like I said, since the summer. But boy, what a difference. This was all dirt and mud this summer. Wow. I'm going to have to come over here with my bike. I have come over here with my bike before, but it's just been a little bit of a challenge. But how about this, guys? Good morning, son. I sent you a Marco Polo. Taking my walk to keep myself from going crazy. Here's the back of the scout hut. Now, I would assume that this is called the scout hut. There was one over on Meadow Road as well, because there was a time where we had several Boy Scout troops in Hapeville, and this, I guess, was their clubhouse. Is that why it's called the scout hut? Good morning, Dave. John Chappell says the Billings and the Frosts lived on Gordon Circle. John Chappell says, Dave Barnett, hey, dude. They know each other. Everybody knows everybody in Hapeville. Isn't this something else, you guys? Thank you, City of Hapeville. Oh, I'd love to live over here in the Coalfield Park area. It's beautiful. Now, my research tells me, I'm not 100% sure, but because I haven't read it in a while, but my understanding is that even before this was the first official park in the city of Hapeville, community park. This one goes back 100 years or more. Coalfield Park. The other parkland is over by, where the community pool was, and that happened in the 30s. This park has been here since well before that. People used to come here. You all know there's a creek here, and it led to, at some point, Coalfield Lake. I haven't been able to figure out where exactly it was. I'm imagining it's probably where the highway comes through now. But when you find articles and mentions in the late 1800s of Hapeville, people went to Coalfield Lake a lot. Good morning, Matina. My son said, good morning. I'm waiting for something to do at work. Oh, I know that feeling. Waiting for the instructions. So, Christopher, this is Coalfield Park. It's near my house, and I'm taking a walk, and I'm all excited because we've got a new walking path. This has been dirt forever. I mean, those of you who've lived here for many, many years, when you were kids, was this ever paved? I don't think it was. I think it's always just been dirt. Y'all made the paths with your bicycles. But it's a lovely park, and it's gorgeous today. Good morning, Jazz. Craig said, I believe the Scout Pack 117 used the hut. That sounds right, my friend. I was going to say 118. It was something like that. Back in the day, we played in the creek. Isn't it great, John? I love walking by here and seeing the bench and the old table. Those have been here a long time. Sorry about the sun right in your eyes. Now, y'all remember this little bridge. Somebody sent me a picture. One of you sent me a picture from about this angle from decades ago and said, that was my house, or that one. I can't remember who it was. But somebody's always doing that, going, that's my house, and I can't keep track as much as I'd like to. I imagine many of you walking down in there when you were kids looking for crawdads. That's what Charles said he used to do. Dave said he used to do it in the creek over by his house. Ashley says, this is perfect for walking Maverick with the stroller. Yes! It's my friend Ashley. She lives over there on Coalfield, right? Yeah. Good morning, Beverly. Good morning, Dawn. Look how beautiful this park is. Oh, I love it over here. And now with this new walkway, and you know, there's more. We're going to continue up here. And as I was driving in, they're putting in a brand new walkway and playground equipment over here. It's so great. I'm glad to see it. I want to see more kids. We still don't have a lot of families here, and I think it's because of the school situation, but I'm glad we're putting in playgrounds for them. Now, this happened about a year and a half ago. This huge tree right here, it was right there, and it fell right across here, right across the path. Of course, it wasn't paved at the time, so they cut it free from here and let it roll down, and look what they did. They turned it into a little, like, Flintstones looking car. Good morning, Carol. That happened like right when the pandemic started. This tree fell, and I love how creative they got. They were like, we don't have to pay for this playground equipment, and kids love coming and climbing up on here. They cut it out up there. But it fell, it was huge. It fell right into the road. But these trees are falling all the time over here because they're so old. I say all the time. I've seen it happen 3 times. This tree fell. Another one around here fell and landed on one of these houses over here. It might have been that one. But, oh look, I can only go so far, but I can show you. Wow. I'll get up on the hill. You know what? I'm going to go up these stairs that you don't even know they're here unless you look really close. Look how they've gotten covered up, you guys. There were these stone stairs that came down into the park, but they're completely covered up. Look at that. They go here, and they take you down to here. So I'm going to climb up this way to give you a better look. Good morning, Heather. These are old. Look at that. It's like exploring. I've always thought it'd be nice to live at one of these houses here right along the park. How beautiful is it? Ooh. Oh my gosh. These are popping up into my view all the time. Look at that. Douglas and I just started talking about how much we would love to get something like that and pull it around with our truck. Oh, that's cute. So we're on, what is this, Campbell, y'all? I think this is Campbell, but let's go over and look what they're doing in the park. This is number 688. It's lovely. That beautiful porch looking out over this park. Can you imagine living there, being a grandparent? Just let your kids run out and go, there's the park. But see, they've already got pavement down there. This is all brand new. And I wonder, oh, this must be so the city can drive down in there, because I can't imagine, or bikes. Must be so bikes can go down in there. Good morning, Judy. Thank you, Craig. It is Campbell Circle. Yep, they're working hard on it. Putting mulch out there, and it has let me see here. Wow, they're really doing a great job over here. It has exercise equipment around the circle. Wow, this is a major improvement. See, there's like a lateral lift. Look how lovely this is. Isn't that fun? Ooh, if I was a kid, I would enjoy that. That is very high. That'll take a brave kid to climb all the way up that. Oh, look at the little spinny thing. Do you remember the big metal ones that we used to have? I know y'all had one over in the school on the playground. You've told me about that metal one. There's some more equipment up behind it. The swing structure looks like they added new swings, but I think that I don't know if that's new or not, the metal part. And there's some chickens that you can hop on down there. But you see the path goes right around, all the way around. John Chappell said, I guess it's a good thing my dog got me up at 4, otherwise I wouldn't have been awake to watch that. Well, I'm glad that you were able to. I'm telling you, John, these walks, I do them because I know that so many of you enjoy them, and that brings me pleasure. I'm a Sagittarius, and Sagittarius, we love to share. I've always been that way. And for a long time, I thought there was something wrong with me. I was always like, why can't I just take a walk or enjoy something for myself? And I used to think it was a negative, but recently I was like, why would wanting to share with people be a negative? It's not. I just do. I love to share this with everybody because it's my hometown now and it was yours before. And many of you, have returned here, and it's just a fascinating place to me. I don't know why. Just the energy here in Hapeville, I felt it as soon as we moved here. I remember when Douglas and I first moved here, and I would, hi Travis. Dave says Johnson, California. I would be doing dishes in my little house on Walnut Street, and I would just imagine all of the people that have stood at that sink and done dishes, because my house is 100 years old. And I would think then that would branch out into who did that person know, and I just knew, I could feel that this neighborhood and everybody in it were very connected. No community is perfect, and this one certainly has its flaws, but every community does, and they cleaned that out. I never noticed the little creek right there. Not really a creek, more like a runoff. But anyway, my point is, I could tell from the very beginning that Hapeville was an experience I'd never had in my life before as far as connection and community, because I've never lived in a structure for more than 5 years. I'm a kid of the 70s, and my mom moved a lot. And so my life was all over the country in different places. And so I never knew people for a long time. I went to 13 different schools. I was always the new kid. This is Heather Gardenhire's house. They did such a beautiful job renovating that. And the only reason I know is because I pet sitted for them for their dog and got to be inside. That's number 705. This house, it took me a while to figure out what was going on. I was like, how come that one's so big? And then I realized if you really look at it, now I could be wrong here, but I don't think I am, but I think the original house was just that size, right? And then it just got added onto over the years. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's my guess. Because if you look at that brick part, it's similar to this. And when the neighborhoods were built in the 40s, they all looked similar, 102. And then over the years, people just changed them to how they wanted them to look. All right, so, you know what? I'm just going to go this way. I hadn't planned on it, but why not? Let me scroll back. Dave said, John's in California. Craig said, back in the day, the White House in the background of the park was the Wilders. Travis said, glad to see this coming along. Thanks, Fulton County. Travis is our councilman at large. Thanks, Fulton County government. For the CDBG grant collaboration on this park and playground improvements. Thank you, Travis. So the Fulton County government gave a grant to collaborate and help. The improvements are beautiful. Don says lots of old friends lived in this area and played in that creek. The Peavies, Sneeds, Pam Caraway. I love her. I met her through her brother, Charles. They come to our shows. And many more. Charles, there he is. Pam Caraway lived in the house you just passed when she was born. Which one? Because I took too long. With an at-large waistline, too. That's funny. The house I just passed. One of those. Charles grew up here and he moved back recently and he lives on Oakdale. I have yet to walk down Oakdale. Oh, what was I saying? Anyway, these walks help me a lot too, because mornings are extremely difficult for me at times, and I have to get grounded or else the day can be a difficult one, and so this has helped. So I'm very grateful when the weather is nice and I can do this. The first one backing up to the park. I thought that's what you were going to say. Wow, that's where she was born, huh? That house is cool because it literally, I always imagine, so I would imagine if Pam lived there when she was young, she could just walk out her back door, walk out that chain link fence that's on the back of that property and go right to school. Here's number 716. I didn't pay attention to the name of this little circle, but I know you guys know what it is. And all of these houses are just so beautiful. 718. Gosh, it's nice. I love streets like this that are off the main streets because you don't get all the crazy traffic. We get a lot of traffic on Walnut Street. It's not terrible like North Avenue, because North Avenue, as you guys know, goes right through, so people speed down through there. They still speed on my street on Walnut, but it's not connected to Dogwood, formerly Stewart, so it's not as bad. Here's number 720. These are all really well taken care of back here. Look how beautiful this one is. That's nice. It's got a little Cape Cod feel, doesn't it? Good morning, Sandy. What street am I on, you guys? I'm not going to know until I get to the corner. I forget what this circle is. 723. God, that's adorable. Once again, the porch is closed in, like everybody closed in their little porches back then at some point. They're working on this one. Look at that. That's a beautiful color they've painted it. This is, I can't tell what the number is because they're falling off and crooked. Oh, that is closed in porch. Look at that. It's a beautiful color. They're putting shutters on the front. Pretty warm for December in Hapeville. Yes, it is, John. I'm very grateful for it. I'll take it while we have it. Gosh, that's idyllic. Number 730. Oh, I think I'm going to be walking by your house, Charles. This is weird. He's watching me and I'm like, yeah, if I turn right, which I think I will, I think I'll just make a big circle. There's 732. Closed in porch. I get it. They needed more space. So, okay. Campbell Circle. Oh. So even where I started when I came up out of the park, the whole thing is whole thing is Campbell Circle. This is interesting. I haven't seen it otherwise, but in Hapeville, this is like the biggest stretch of continuous new homes along Oakdale. Starting right here, they're beautiful. They're real close together, but they're beautiful. But look how many there are, all the way up to, what is that, Lily or Hope? I think it's Lily right there. Lily. Is that right? But, I mean, I've seen like a little house get torn down, another big one, but this whole side of the street, I'm like, how'd that happen? There are that many houses that somebody could come in and go, I'm gonna buy that and tear them all down and put new houses up. Was this? Obviously, this had to have been homes back in the day, but so many of being replaced. Charles says, I'm home but not dressed because I'm watching you. Well, you don't need, you no pressure. I don't know if I'm going to walk all the way down there or not. I might walk back. Yeah, Jazz says Lily is right there. Hope is, perpendicular on the other side. That's okay. No, perpendicular. All right, which way am I gonna go? Oh, I'm gonna be walking way far away from my car if I go that way. Ashley lives down there. Charles lives down there. I met one other person that lives down here that has a VW, but I haven't met them. You know what? I'll go down to that stop sign and turn right. Can I? Is that a road? Yes, it is. You live on Hope. Cool. Thanks for being here this morning, Jazz, and yesterday. I appreciate it. There's 3057. This side of town I've never walked on. I've only ever driven my car around here, so it's interesting. It's such a different experience when you slow down and walk it. You see more. 3055. Now over here, you can hear the highway right behind. But we are still, it's kind of ideal because it's quiet over here, but we're one street away from the highway. I think is it Hope that's right over there? Is that what you're saying, Jazz? And Hope is like right on the highway. Good morning, Kathy West Roseberry. Look what a big old backyard they still have. This is what all of Hapeville used to look like. A house and lots of land. But I look at land like this now and I'm like, oh, that's going to be turned into an Oakdale fronted home, you know, if they're willing to give up their backyard and the city will let them divide up their lot. Look how pretty it is with the sun hitting it. I love these mid-century modern houses with the windows. Yeah, Charles lives down there, but I'm not going to go that far. I'm too lazy. Look at the red on the momiji trees. There's 3 of them. One, a little one, and a big one. Mama, Papa, baby. Where am I? Oakdale and Campbell. Oh, so Campbell is just a big loop. Got it. Got it. Every time I see a sign that says watch children, I imagine kids with faces like a watch standing out in the street. Watch children. 646. I realize I haven't eaten breakfast yet. Sandy says, hey, Heather. Charles says North Avenue teacher her whole life. John says those are huge trees. Yes, indeed. This is number 648, Campbell. 645, closed-in porch. I would have always left my porch open. At my house, that's my favorite feature is our screened-in porch, especially when it's nice out. You like get another whole room outside, and I love that. We're going to be walking right into the sun here. Number 650. Ooh, it's very quiet back here, and there's the park right behind the little creek. So I've just done a big circle. I like the color of these shutters. What a beautiful little house. With a glass front door, I always think that's so nice. You can open up your main door and have your glass front door there. That's number 654, Campbell. Oh, gosh. That looks like, look at that shot. I've said this before. I love when a house is sitting up on a hill. Architecture to me is art, and it's got to be on a beautiful palette, and that one is on a beautiful palette. Also, when I first moved here, one of the most striking homes is the house that Charles Thomas lives in now. It presents like this from the street. It's absolutely gorgeous. It was even more impactful when I moved here. My friend actually, who I came down to visit, she said, I got to show you the coolest place in Hapeville. And she drove me over to Charles's house, and that whole property was still all open. There wasn't a new house on his left or his right. So there was this beautiful house just sitting on all of this green grass. But there's houses around Charles's house now, but it still looks so freaking beautiful. His house is so adorable. 658. I mean, look at that. It looks like a real estate photo. That'll make you drive here to come check it out. So I imagine back in the day, all the kids who lived in these houses, they just run across the street, go down in there, and play in the creek at Coalfield Park. Charles says, I still have my porch. Yes, you do, and it's beautiful. Isn't yours have glass on it? Or is it screened in? I can't remember, but it's beautiful. And I'm glad you still have your porch. Where are we going to sit when we get old? You got to have a porch to sit on so you can sit out and reflect and enjoy. Here's number 668. I love looking at things like this tree that just said, thanks for planting me, I'm going to take over. Look at that. And the old drain system here. But that tree has just, it's like melting out into the street. And you see that here in Hapeville everywhere. I love it. Gosh, I love it. Are you guys good at looking at trees and guessing how old they are? Just by their size and shape? So let's do that. It's just screened. That's beautiful. Good morning, Pamela. How old do you think this tree is? I have an idea in my head, but I'm going to see what you guys think. But when you look at trees, can you tell? Or like, I'm really good at looking at architecture and going, oh, that was built in the 40s or that was built in the 20s. And I'm usually right. With trees, I never quite know. I've got one in my backyard that's not quite this big. And it's grown up around the chain link fence at my house. But I can't tell. What would your guess be on that tree? Here's number 670. Thanks for being here, Pamela. I started by walking in Coalfield Park, and I'm headed back in that direction. I parked at the Scout Hut, so that's where I'm headed. They still have their porch. Nice. And it looks like they're sanding their front door. This is 676. Oh, wow. Look at all of the stone and how it's all moss. My husband, he always tells me when we have a yard, it won't be grass, it'll be moss. I got to bring him over to see number 676. Oh, wow. There's a couple things I really like here. That's incredible. And look at the big number on their door. I like that. Beth says, Henry and I lived at 614 Coalfield when we were first married. The houses look just like these. Yes. Ashley lives over on Coalfield. Ashley and Craig. This is such memory jolt. You don't see as many brick houses in California. No, you don't, John, do you? I've only been to LA once. I don't know where in California you are. But I know in Studio City and in LA, you see bungalows, and they're kind of like, they're not really brick. They're cement block or whatever. Anyway, look at that tree. You guys, look at that tree. I would love it so much, but if I lived there, I'd be neurotic because I'd be wondering which branch is going to fall next, because that's just how I am. I'm just at anxiety level 8 or 9 all the time, which is why I need these walks. But that's a big tree. Look at the roots. Stucco. That's right, John. That's what I was trying to think of. It's such a pleasure to have you all with me. It's such a interesting time that we live in. If you had told me when I was a kid of the 70s, when you get older and you're in your 50s, you're going to have a little magic box in your hand. And it's like a magic window, and you're going to be able to talk to your friends, but not really see them. And I'd be like, what kind of Star Trek madness are you talking about? That is adorable. I just joined a Facebook page that talks about little pull-behind campers like that. I want to start learning, because Douglas and I have discovered that we love driving up an hour and a half to 2 hours into the mountains, into the Blue Ridge Mountains, something you could not do when you lived in Manhattan. It was hard to get out of the city. We love driving up there. So we go up and stay in a cabin, or we just go to Ellijay for the day, or go apple picking. And I'm like, I want to get one of those little things and pull it up there and stay overnight. So we're going to look into that. Yeah, John, I'm waiting for the flying car too. But could you imagine? People on their phones in cars on the ground is terrifying enough. Imagine flying cars and people texting and flying. Oh, good Lord. And we're back where we started. So if you guys join me late and you want to see the park over there that they're working on, you can watch the replay. I love that these old stairs are here. I kind of wish